Hi, I'm going to show you how to make an adjustable knot out of this cord. This is a great way to have a necklace where you can adjust the length. I made this amethyst crystal pendant in another tutorial. This is a 2mm nylon cord. I've cut it at about 1 yard, 3 feet. I'm just going to thread it through. So now I've got my ends here. I'm going to cross them over in opposite directions. So I'm going to take this first side and fold it back to the left. I'm going to wrap it from the back, around, and through the loop. I'm going to repeat that one more time. So I've got my ends here. I'm going to cross them in opposite directions. I'm going to take this piece that's coming out to the right and fold it back about 2 inches. I'm going to take it underneath and go all the way around, having this piece come down and go through the little loop. I'm going to kind of cinch it down, pulling it a little bit tight. You don't want it too tight or it won't be able to move. I'm going to flip it over. Usually at this point I test it and I make sure it can slide. So it's moving good. That is a good sign. Now I'm going to take this other piece. I flipped it, so now this end is coming out to the right. I'm going to do the same thing, folding it back about 2 inches. I'm going to tuck it under, around, and through the loop. I'm going to cinch that down. I'm holding the tail with the right hand, pressing it down toward the tail with the left there, pulling it somewhat tight. Again, you don't want it too tight or it won't move. I do usually test it at this point. I'm going to pull it back and forth a couple times. You don't want to pull the knots all the way together. If they go all the way together, it is kind of tricky to get them apart. So I always say to leave a little bit of space if you want to wear it longer. I'm going to snip this off about 1/4 inch on each side. This is nylon, so you can actually burn the ends to kind of fuse it together. I'm just going to take my lighter, just kind of let it melt down a little bit. That will be hot. Can be a little bit fumy if you're doing a lot of these. You might want to do that step outside. Just doing one real quick, so it'll be okay. There we go. That keeps the ends from fraying. Now your pendant will be floating around at this point. So I'm going to pull these down a little bit. I prefer to tie a knot that's going to sit right above the pendant so it'll keep it centered. So I've got my knots up here, got them side by side. There we go. Holding down here, I'm going to loop this around my finger in an overhand knot. You really want to keep that center point right where the pendant is, just like tying a balloon, just around and through. And then I'm going to pull that knot down to sit right above the pendant loop. And while I'm doing this, I'm keeping an eye on these knots up top, making sure that they're even. We don't want one lower than the other. So once I'm sure that they're even, I'm just pulling with my right hand. And then usually I will come down and kind of pull each one tight with my right hand as I'm holding onto the knot with the left hand. These knots are even, and that's it. You've got a nice adjustable knot necklace, so you can pull these down if you'd like a shorter necklace, or I'm sorry, longer necklace. That backwards. You can slip it over your head, pull these knots down once it's on, all the way down if you want a choker. just like that. Thanks for tuning in. I hope you have a great day.